welcome to the Civil War Guru's headquarters here in historic Bardstown, Kentucky. And today we're going to talk about one of the most famous muskets that was ever made. And actually this musket was made for the Mexican War. And this one was made prior to it. This is a real unique one. This is called a Mississippi rifle. And it was made famous by Jeff Davis of Mississippi. That's right. We're talking about President Jeff Davis. And this is how he became famous in Mexico. And this one here is made by George Tyron, T-Y-R-O-N, of Philadelphia. And for years they thought these things were made in 46, 47, and on up. This one's dated 44. And records show that they made 600 of these in 44. And then Eli Whitley also made Mississippi rifles. And these two particular manufacturers, their guns were sent south. So this gun was sent south 2 years prior to the Mexican War. So without a question of a doubt, it was in a warehouse or issued to the troops in one of the southern states. And I have no question that this thing made it through the Mexican War. And these were also a favorite of the southern troops because they were issued to southern troops in the Civil War. And there's really scholars on these Mississippis. I mean, they went from the, I think, 54 caliber Civil War, they bored them out to 58 calibers. They adapted them for bayonets, and there's all kinds of cool things that were done with these in the southern modifications. But we're going to take a look here at a virgin Mississippi. And I'm going to get some close-ups of it. I don't have my grandson help me. I got Kenny Rogers at the helm here. So we're going to get some up close and personal. And I wanted to get this particular rifle because this is a favorite of the collectors. And value-wise, these things have really taken off. I mean, years ago we used to buy them, a little bit higher than the regular Civil War musket. But now these things go $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. I've seen one of these actually that's 44 dated at $4,500. So they're all over the board, and it does depend on condition. But I want you guys to see one up close, and I know you guys are the collectors. This is real important to you. So from the Civil War Guru, enjoy the show. Okay, I've got the Mississippi laying here on the table, and we're going to shoot the rear end of the gun. And these things have a lovely brass butt plate, full brass butt plate, and a magnificent patch box, kind of reminiscent of the Kentucky rifles, which is brass. And it's a brass trigger guard. And then we have the lock and the hammer. But what's unique about this particular early gun is that there's a serial number 38, and I'm going to try to get a close-up on it, marked on the trigger guard, marked on the butt plate. And this is a government-accepted gun. And I'm going to try to get the close-ups of all the proof marks. We have a P, which stands for proof, that's stamped on all the brass parts, and including the barrel bands and the butt plate. And then the butt plate has a US on it. I'll try to get that. But I'm going to reach around here and let the camera run and open up the patch box so you can see what the interior looks like. In the interior, you'll see a little slot, and that's for an extra nipple. An extra nipple screws down in there, so if you have to replace it, you have it. So I'm just going to reach around here and open this patch box. I'm going to turn the camera off and then open it up. Alright, I got Kenny Rogers holding this the Mississippi up. Now if you look in the lower right corner, you'll see the hole where the extra nipple screws into. And that's a spacious patch box. And as again, the owners of these things really loved them. And because there's a little extra room, and they can put their wadding, they can put extra rounds of ammo in there. And whatever they want. That was kind of a neat little place to have on your musket. So now we're going to move up and get a close-up of the lock. I'm going to turn the camera off here a second, and we're going to move forward. Alright, we're focused up on the lock. I'm going to try to move this camera in and see how close it is, because the marking on the locks are faint on these Tyrons. So don't get dizzy while I'm moving this up. I'm going to try to adjust it. And remember, I'm not a cameraman. But I'm going to, forward of the lock will be the stamp. So I'm going to keep working it. Bear with me. See if we can pick it up. Alright. It'll take a second for the camera to focus. And I hope my son can edit this out, but okay, right there. I'm gonna reach in here with my finger. Right there is where it's faintly marked. It's marked Tyron. And I'm gonna again try to move into this little, see if this thing will actually pick it up. It'll take a second for it to try to readjust. It don't look like it is. So anyway, that's where it's marked, and hopefully the camera will focus a little more. Alright, we'll leave it there for a second. Alright, now I'm going to try to move the camera over to the date part. Now there we can definitely pick it up. And I'm going to try to move in a little closer. There you go. Alright, perfect. Alright, if you look there, you got the abbreviated Philadelphia, then the PA, and there's the magic mark, 1844. This is one of the first ones they produced. In 1844, they produced 600 of these Mississippi rifles. And this Mississippi rifle does have the original barrel. It's never been bored out. I think it's 54 caliber. I'm almost sure of that. The barrel length is 33 inches. Now I'm going to have Kenny Rogers roll it over, and we're going to get the proof marks on the back of the barrel. Alright, there's your barrel proofs on it. You have your JH, of course it's upside down, inspector's mark, and then you have your P in the circle. And later on, there'd be, on these particular Mississippis, they'd be dated on the tang, but this was not dated on the tang. But that's the barrel proofs on it. Now we're going to roll it over on the flat. Alright, and there's your inspector's marks in the stock. And one you can see, the one to the far left's pretty good, and the other one, it's this camera's not quite good enough to pick it up. But it's there. But there's the inspector's marks that's on the wood. So as this thing was assembled and put together, they would inspect it. So we're going to go to the top of the butt plate, and that way you can see the U.S. mark on it. And you can see the little, the serial number 38. And I've never seen that early, or numbers like that. So this could be one of the very, very, very first ones. 50 or under that was assembled. Alright, now we're on top of the butt plate. And of course you can see the wood screw. And there's the US to the left of it. And if you look, you'll see that small P, that proof mark. That is on all the brass parts. As I said before, it's on the barrel bands and the trigger guard. And there's that 38 I was talking about. That's on the trigger guard. And on this, and it might be also marked. I haven't taken a gun apart. But that's the real small markings, which is super, super early. But that's what you're looking for in these real early ones. Alright, now we're going to move down, and I want y'all to see the original sight that came out on this. These are just the old, we call them Rocky Mountain sight, but they're just the standard sight, no elevation. So we'll get Kenny to move it down here where we can get a shot of the sight, the rear sight. Alright, there's your rear sight. And again, you know, I'm old country boy, we used to call them Rocky Mountain sights. Is this your standard old V sight, dovetailed in. As you can see, it's never been disturbed. It's always been in there. And I'm going to get him roll it over on the flat so we can get the two screws in the back side of the lock if he can. Go ahead, I'm going to just leave the can rolling. Just roll it down. Lay it flat, Kenny. Now, again, there you go. That's fine. I'm just going to pan it a little bit. But you can see this is the back of the lock. And there's your two screws that hold on the lock. But I'm going to go from there to there. And again, there's your brass arbor. Right in the center, there's your P again. It's proved. So that's pretty cool. Okay, this is your metal barrel band. And I'm going to put my finger up there so you can see the P there. So good I am. There it is right there. Look how tiny that P is. That's cool. So that's the metal barrel band. Then we're going to get the front barrel band, because these are unique on your Mississippis, because they look like the 1860s and 1842 muskets, except they're brass. So we'll get that one, and then we'll call it a day on this. All right, this is the top of the front barrel band, and it's a double, I call double looped. And I'm going to stick my finger up here and show you where the P is. There's the P right there. And then I'm going to pan up if I can. And we'll get that front sight, which is inlaid in there. It's dovetailed in there. And it's brass. And that's the front end of it. But I'm going to back up a little bit and get Kenny. Just turn the gun over on the side so you can get a side profile of this metal barrel band. Just lay it down on the side, Kenny. Yeah, there you go. That's perfect. Can you hold it right there? Alright. Then see if I can back off a little bit. There we go. That's the side profile. They have the sling swivel on it, and it's on the front of the trigger guard. But, you know, it's a very attractive rifle. This particular rifle is missing the original ramrod. And this has the old Civil War tulip ramrod. And you know, it's been clean, but it is original. And the front of it, right here, it would be shaped like this tapered. And right there would be a brass band on it. And that's what you see on the original Mississippi. So that's a replacement ramrod, which is common, you know, gun used for all those years. But this is one of the most unique guns, and I just got to, you know, had to get it on camera because there's a lot of guys that collect these, and like I say, there's real scholars on these, and I'm not a scholar. All I know is I know early, and I know rare, and I know unique, and that's what this gun is. So from these old Civil War guru and his sidekick Kenny Rogers, you guys have a great day, and you ladies do too.